Hi, I'm NASA Kennedy's Dustin Kamak, and I'm here to take you inside KSC. Kennedy Space Center opened new doors to discovery in 2016 and bid farewell to one of the explorers who made the spaceport an iconic location for the future. NASA's journey to Mars got a boost in 2016 as Kennedy continued preparations to process and launch the Space Launch System rocket and Orion spacecraft on their first flight test in 2018. All the platforms for the rocket are on Kennedy property now, for example, and the Orion spacecraft is coming together inside the operations and checkout building. Charlie Blackwell Thompson was named the launch director for the Orion SLS missions in 2016. Kennedy scientists who worked on the Veggie project saw the first flower bloom in orbit when astronauts on the International Space Station shared photos of zinnias blossom. By the end of the year, astronauts were growing their third lettuce crop on the station. The space station was the focus of much of the work performed at Kennedy, including cargo resupply flights that delivered tons of materials to the crews in orbit. 2 SpaceX Dragons and 1 orbital ATK Cygnus spacecraft lifted off from Kennedy in 2016 to carry supplies to the orbiting laboratory. Boeing and SpaceX continued adapting their launch facilities on Florida's Space Coast and building spacecraft to launch astronauts to the International Space Station aboard privately owned spacecraft for NASA's Commercial Crew Program. Kennedy continued to reach out into the solar system without losing sight of changes on Earth in 2016. September saw the launch of OSIRIS-REx, a spacecraft that will pull a sample from an asteroid and return it to Earth for study. A pair of launches at the end of the year delivered first the GOES-R spacecraft to orbit for NOAA, and then the Cygnus constellation of microsatellites that will observe hurricanes in unprecedented detail. The Kennedy and NASA communities also said goodbye in 2016 to an icon of the space age when John Glenn died on December 8th. One of NASA's original 7 astronauts, Glenn orbited the Earth in 1962, a first for an American, before taking on a career in politics. At age 77, he flew into space again, this time aboard Space Shuttle Discovery for the STS-95 mission. As Kennedy moves forward into a new dawn of achievement, many of its successes will trace their origins back to the hard work completed this past year. And remember, Spaceport Magazine digs deeper inside KSC.